guys. This is my first YouTube live stream as promised. I will be unboxing the art supplies that Pebeo has sent me recently, and I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to wait till today to open it. Actually, I was very curious what's inside. I will just wait a couple of minutes for people to arrive, and as I'm waiting, I will just make sure I can see your comments on my computer. And please do let me know if you hear me correctly and see everything right. Okay, as far as I can see on my computer, it looks awesome. So here we go. Whoa. Looks like it's going to be quite a lot to try today. I am not only going to make swatches of those, I'm also going to paint something using those art supplies. Wow, a lot. Okay, I will just put everything here and then we will see what's in this box. Okay, I don't know where to start. Maybe let's start with the brushes. I thought I will be using my own brushes, but it looks like they have sent me some soft ones, as far as I can see. What? Let me know how's the sound, because this is the easiest way of making a live stream, doing a live stream on YouTube. I am just using my smartphone, and I think whenever the next one will be, I will try to use OBS and better microphone. But if that's okay, it would be awesome, because it's way easier to just hang my smartphone above the desk and do a live stream. If I had to set up everything and get the kids leave home so I can make a live stream showing my face and the background, it will just happen less often, probably. So yeah, those brushes look kind of nice, soft. I got various sizes. I would guess that's synthetic bristles, but it should be pretty nice to work with. Let's see what I got in the box apart from the brushes. This is drawing gum, masking fluid in the pen, 0.7 millimeters. I might have the same one somewhere at home. Yes, I don't know how to open it. Oh. Maybe we will use it today. We will see. I got some empty bottles for whatever I want to use. I guess I can mix some watercolor with water and use this empty bottle with pipette. I don't know the word. Okay. I probably won't use it today, but it might be useful. I also got this with the range of colors, which recently has been reworked, as far as I know. and the new color has appeared both in bottles and in markers. And the cool thing, the coolest thing about those markers is the fact that they are refillable, so more eco-responsible use, I guess. And I really appreciate that idea, because other markers usually don't have that option to refill them. Oh no, each one of them are in foil. It will take ages to remove. Wow. And hours to make swatches of them. I also got replaceable ends for those markers, I guess. That's cool. Because that's the only thing that getting destroyed while rough use of a marker. Sorry. Okay. Oh no, more brushes. And the one that can be refilled with paint or water as well. And those two are the kind I usually use, so I probably like them. Sorry again. Yeah, as soft as the previous ones, and the size is nice. Yeah, we might use those two today. And even smaller ones for people who worked on smaller sizes, I guess, or for details. If you know me, you know that I usually like big papers. This is really small. Might have to wait for better days for me to use it, unless I will start to paint some miniatures. Okay, so in those 4 boxes probably we will see some bottles of Colorex. Yes, I have gold one, turquoise, wow, very vibrant green, red. I guess I have to clean my desk because there's not much space to paint with those. Black. Another drawing gum. That's cool. So those bottles had inside exactly the same paint that in the markers, and they are supposed to open at the end, and we can use the pipette, again I don't know if I am saying that correctly, to refill this. Okay, that was ambitious plan to swatch everything and paint. This life might last for a couple of hours, or I might have to make 2. Just swatching will take at least an hour, I think. unless I am faster than I think. Nice. Okay, so that's all. I guess you are as curious as me, but we still have to remove the foil from the markers. I can see any place where it would be easier to do. I think I will just use a knife. Yes, it was heavy. Because someone said the package must have been very heavy and very hard not to unbox right away. That's the worst part of trying to be an influencer. Not easy to remove even when I start with the knife. So eco-friendly, but still a lot of plastic. Sorry for the boring part. Oh my. I guess I will fight with them for another 15 minutes probably. There must be some better way to do it. Maybe I should just twist it? Yes, it's easier. Okay, not that hard after all. So to remove the foil, I will just twist the top of it, and the foil is easier to remove then. Not 15 minutes of unwrapping then. Maybe just 5. Yes, the marker. Okay, so if that's the end... okay, I got 2 of them. I haven't noticed. So, yeah. 2 pens with the masking fluid. And this one already has the replaceable... What's the word? Tip. Yeah. and I can open it. As far as I can see, the live stream straight from my smartphone looks kind of nice. Oh, and we have an empty marker as well, that I can, two of them. Because the range of colors is different for the bottles and for the markers, and I can fill this with whatever color I like. That's cool. I might not just do it during live stream, because still don't know how. My purple favorite violets. Now it's hard to decide what to paint for you. Okay, that was the last one. Yay! Because my hands hurt right now. Let's start with the markers then. I will just put some water closer and maybe choose a right brush. The flat one should be cool for making swatches. And it's supposed to be a brush pen, and it is, but it's not a very soft one. It resembles very much the Pro Marker watercolor from Winsor & Newton, with the shape and the hardness of the tip. The color is nice. This was cobalt blue. And the next one is Rose Sienna. I can paint as tiny line as this one and use the side of the tip and cover bigger areas, and obviously as fast as I can I add some water. I usually wet my paper before painting as well, but those are only swatches, so I am curious how the color appears after adding some water. This one soaked easier into the paper. Violets. This one also wasn't that easy to mix with water as the blue one. Turquoise blue. Nice. Yeah, and then this one again was very easy to soften up. So I guess that would be my first tip for anyone who will use any watercolor markers in the future. As fast as you can, try to add water, and whenever possible even wet the surface before painting, then it will be much easier to create a soft color, smooth color, and never do something like this and only then try to make it a smooth surface. It won't work probably. Yeah. So as close to each other, those lines should be as close to each other as possible. And that's the same truth for every watercolor marker that I have used. The Payne's Gray. Very soft. And that's actually something that I was missing from the Winsor and Newton range, the soft colors. Each one of them was very, very rich in pigment, and it was sometimes hard to paint something that's light, actually. Use the right amount of water and stuff. Olive green. This one would be used very often. And again, very easy to mix with water. And this is, by the way, Canson Moulin de Roy. Cold pressed. And this one was pink beige. Another not that easy to blend, but if I smudge the edges a little bit longer, it appears, looks better. The gradient looks better. Ivory black. Seems like the cold colors blend better. Orange. Wow. And some oranges too blend better than the others. Spring green, this one. Primary yellow. And Turkish red. Yeah, and we have to move the brush around more vigorously than some of the blue ones. And still I can see slightly the shape of the first brush strokes, actually, because this is brush pen, so I probably should call it brush strokes. So it's losing some of the intensity when adding water, but don't forget we can always add some more afterwards. Not just so good for painting on wet surface. It's much more vibrant this way than when I try to use markers on the wet paper. That can be a problem because I have this style of painting that usually requires wetting the surface. Forest green. And magenta. This one I can pronounce probably, Chartreuse, number 36. Very pretty one. And Payne's Gray. Haven't I already got Payne's Gray? Yes. Okay. So it's time for the bottles. And we got white one as well. I wonder if it's quite thick or light as the markers. Yeah, way thicker, but still looks differently from the some other inks I have in mind, specifically Ecoline. See if it's visible on darker shades. Yeah, it should be cool for highlights. But maybe I shouldn't mix it with water. Another magenta. I guess this one was magenta too. Let's see if, yeah, more vibrant. Ooh, and the golden one doesn't have the same way of applying onto the paper, so we need a brush. It also looks like I need to shake it. Yeah, this one will probably work as the last layer of painting because it's not so easy to smoothen out the edges, so just some details at the end can be made more golden. How about spreading the paint with brush? Again, a lot less pigmented than some of the other inks that I have used, but I like this because it's always better to add more layers than like fight with paint because it's so dense. Nice. Turkish red, yes, this is the same one as this one. So it looks like the brush has lost a lot of the vibrancy as I was smoothing the surface up with the water. So this means it will be probably better to start painting with the inks from the bottles and only then add some details with the markers. And maybe not even mix them with water too much. I wonder if Payne's Grey is darker from the one in the markers. Similar. Lemon yellow. This one is really nice. And primary yellow. And we probably had this one in the form of a marker. This is how it looked. It's similar, but I probably use less ink in the second dot. Orange. And we had orange in the markers form. Oh wow, this one looks nice. Yeah. And rose sienna. Ultramarine. Also nice. Cobalt blue. I guess this one was also cobalt blue. Or not. Yeah, it might have been ultramarine. And the first one then is cobalt blue. Oh, and I got the silver too. I will try it at the end. And string green. This is it in the markers form, and this one is also slightly more pigmented. Sepia. Wait, what is it? Sepia ink. I guess that's another thing to try for calligraphy and drawings. Okay. Should I mix it with water then, or just use straight from the bottle? That looks nice. Yeah, that will be useful. Chromatic black. Okay, so some kind of brownish shade of black. We will see if it's similar to sepia. Not totally different. And it seems to like separate into different shades. That's why the name was trichromatic. And black. As black should be. I guess we haven't tried the bottle green. Okay, I love it. Nice. Now I have a dilemma what to paint. I thought I would be painting some flowers to use as much colors as possible, but there are too many to use all of them. Oh, and we haven't checked the silver one. So straight from the bottle, it's nice and thick. So that might be why I got those little brushes, to add some gold and silver details, and the golden one is really shiny when it's dry. You probably don't see it. Let's see if it covers some colorful patch of a darker patch of paint easily. Maybe the blue one. Only visible from the side. I also wonder if it can be mixed with the ink. But I will experiment with that idea later. And how to use those. I guess we had to shake it, push the tip onto the surface sometime, a few times, and then it should be ready to work with and good for 6 months since opening. Okay. So I will just set up my desk with another clean sheet of paper, and we will try to make something beautiful using those. I am just checking if you see everything the same way I do. Sorry for the light. Better. And fresh water. Some paper towel, and I will try to paint this flower. So I won't use all of the colors this time. I will try maybe to make another live stream on Instagram if you want to see those markers and bottles in action in some other subject. This time it will be much faster to paint a flower than it would be in case of a landscape or architecture, but maybe next time. Oh, I am also wondering how the masking fluid looks like. It's also a lot lighter than some I have used, so probably it's possible to no, it's not. I hoped I can refill the masking fluid in the markers, but not. We will need to do a basic sketch right now. Yeah, where are my pencils when I need them? Okay, sorry. And I'm using Winsor & Newton cold press paper. If you're going to paint with me, then go ahead, mark some basic shape, and then we will move on to adding more detail, more precise details. So right now I am just trying to make sure everything fits and it's not too close to the edge of the paper. Wait, I will also check if I can zoom in a little bit right now. Yes, I can, not too much. sorry. So I will just move the paper around, but you will be seeing this better this way. Yeah. So I'm removing some pencil smudges and excess lines, and we will be ready to start in a minute. Okay, that's it. And we will need the porcelain palette for mixing some paint, and maybe just to not to open the bottles of Colorex every time I need to add some color. I will normally say it would be wise to start with the background, but this one is pretty much almost white, so I might just drop some paint at the end. Yeah, because if I do it right now, it will be harder to paint the flower itself. So which one? I guess we will need some magenta, Turkish red, definitely Payne's Grey for the background, and maybe some other details as well. Not sure about the lemon yellow, not sure about the yellow green. Primary yellow for some parts, maybe, but it seems slightly more orange. This one is orange, and it might be even more safe to use brown shades, not pure orange. I will see. Sepia, yeah, maybe for the dark part. Ultramarine blue. Black one. Yeah, so the darks will wait for their time. Cobalt blue, yeah, I can see some bluish parts. This one not this time, and the silver one also will have to wait for another painting. And from the markers range, yeah, pink beige will definitely be useful. Wow, making a mess. We already had magenta, but why not? Leave it in the form of marker as well. Raw sienna, yeah. Maybe I won't use it from the bottle, but marker this time. Violet, yeah. Blue, sepia, I don't know yet. Payne's gray, also I don't know yet. Olive green, maybe in some shadows on the flower. We'll see. Ivory black, orange, we have orange here, chartreuse, I still don't know if that's how I'm supposed to pronounce it. Turkish reds, and blue. I guess cobalt blue had more violet shades in it, so I will leave that one. And some green will probably be useful, but I'm not sure yet which one. Okay, so obviously we need to start with some lighter parts of the flower, not to make it too intense right away. And I will wet all of the flower and start from the top. Oops. First I need some paint on my palette. This one orange. Magenta, so orange, Turkish red, magenta, and I will separate the warm tones from the cobalt blue with some Payne's gray. And as I said, I like the roll brushes. This is the kind I very often use, but I have bigger sizes usually. To make the flowers wet, I will just use this bigger one. And maybe for the details later, some of the smaller ones will be useful. Okay, let's do this. So again, if you just joined, I am making this flower wet to make sure the paint is more smooth. The color is smooth, the paint is way easier to apply on the wet surface. And the risk that I will make it too dark is less. possible. So I'm mixing the magenta with tiny bit of orange. And some water. I will also need another of the flat ones to smooth the edges out in exactly the same moment as I put some paint onto the paper, just to make sure it's nice and smooth and only adds more lines when I really need them, like on the bottom of these parts of the flower. So I guess we have just answered one question, if it's easy to remove the ink from the paper. Not so easy. I accidentally painted more than I needed. Yeah. I removed some of it. Now this one is really soft by itself, and I am just again checking if I can use the markers on slightly wet surface. Not really. Yeah. So no, I will wait until it dries. Where's the primary yellow? Sure. Added some sienna into the mix because the orange wasn't quite the shade I needed right now. So yes, I like for the shadows this slightly dirtied cobalt blue with the brown. But it still might require another layer afterwards. Still have this color on my brush, so I will just apply it whenever I think it will be useful. Move on to other yellowish parts of the flower. Yeah, like pure orange is too much, but I like how it spreads. Maybe I will just leave it. I'll make it flow. Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference between the Colorex markers and Winsor & Newton ones that I have tried. This one I can leave exactly the way it's right now, and for Winsor & Newton it usually needs to be mixed with water, and quite fast as well. Yeah, it's way softer when I try to paint on the wet surface, so it might be even easier to make those little textures, little delicate textures on the flower. Again, not so thick the color, because I would rather add another layer than make it too much at this point. Oh, and even pure Payne's Gray looks good on shadows. Yeah, no need to mix anything here. And I still haven't checked if it's possible to lift any of the pigment from the dried painting. Right now I can only try if we can lift something from the wet surface, like here. Not very much. But for many of artists that's actually not a con, that's pro. I lift a lot of paints, but since it's not possible when painting with Colorex, I will just keep that in mind and try to figure out the layers of the painting beforehand. I actually like how the red one spread it, so I'm not going to fix that. Maybe I will even splash some more of that color. Yeah. Definitely that was a good idea. Oh, I will try the smaller one of the roll brushes. Yeah. So I guess if something is going to get accidentally covered with paint and we need to restore the whites, then I will just use the white one for the details, like the highlight here, which is not really like totally necessary, but you can. I'm spraying water to make it look more natural, and also I will use some of that white to make the texture. Restore this edge. That's Payne's Gray again. And Payne's Gray with wet magenta for that shadowy parts. I guess a little bit of trichromatic black will go into the cobalt blue, and we will see what we will get. It's slightly too wet to add more shadow here, probably, or maybe not. It seems to spread slightly differently from the regular watercolor. Now I quite like what happened here, so maybe I will just try to create something similar on the other side. And for the shadows on the top, we can again create them with the brush, or we can try to use markers and see how differently it looks. It's still kind of wet, but not soaking wet. So I had sepia marker in my hand, and I guess I'm seeing slightly more brown on the top. That's why. I will just adjust some contrast using this marker. Here I had to wait for it to dry a bit, so yeah, the contrasts make the difference, right? A dziękuję. It's surprisingly pleasant to paint flowers. I thought I am more into landscapes, but I guess into everything. forgot to use the violet one. Right. Maybe just to experiment a bit more. Yeah, so this violet will be good for making the brown parts slightly less brown at some areas. I like the yellowish shade, but it will be more cohesive, I guess. Yikes. Do I have a red? Yes. So far I am really enjoying myself with those markers and inks. I guess it's the right time to splash some paints onto the background because I am about to overwork the flower. I haven't used this pink beige after all, because it should be used on the dry surface, and I tried to do it on the wet one and it was invisible. So for the background, I think I will just spray some more water on the bottom, and don't worry too much about the leaves because it was so hard to lift color, then probably even if the color spreads a little, it should look fine, and I shouldn't lose the shape of the leaf totally. And at the same time I will have wet background, so we can I think it might even work if I keep the surface tilted and make some mess. Apparently. So if this wasn't live, I would probably make the background first, let it dry, and only then move on to painting the flower. Okay. And I guess that splashing some of the same colors that appear on the flower will also work, like the dark one. And some magenta. Now this will be drying, and the only thing that's still not dark enough is the edge of right here. And do I have black one? Yeah. I'm also going to restore some of the white. Is it clean? Yeah. Yes, that's better. And I guess that's enough for me. I like it. Yeah, I will definitely use more often both the bottles with ink, watercolor ink, and the markers. It would probably take some getting used to because they are different from the ones I already have. But I like the way they work. The colors are softer in those markers then maybe I will just combine sometimes the markers from Winsor & Newton and those for the softer shades and more delicate layers. My paintings made with Winsor & Newtons tend to look a bit too heavy. But yeah, this one was easier, and I like the option to put them into the palette. And now I will just have to paint some more, not to waste it. Well, this was the first time, so I didn't know how much of it I will use. If you have any questions, then just leave them under this video. I will definitely respond, and if you like this live, then also let me know, then maybe I will make them more often. You can expect another live on Instagram using the same materials. I will just paint something different from this topic, maybe my usual landscapes that time, because we wouldn't need to swatch the colors again. Maybe just use some drawing in another live. And also thanks for stepping by, because this was my first live stream and I was a bit worried I will just paint by myself, and I wasn't. That's really cool. So see you next time, and again, let me know what you would want me to upload next, and if you want me to make more lives. Bye.